All right, so this week's deep dive, it's kind of perfect timing, right? We're all about getting ready for the weekend.
Definitely.
But I'm thinking about more than just like the happy hour kind of wind down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, oh, how can we really set ourselves up for a good weekend, not just like crash from the week?
Right.
So we're diving into this blog post from lestallion.com.
Okay.
It's called 50 Friday Journal Prompts.
Ooh.
And I'm kind of fascinated by it because it got me thinking, like, what if Friday isn't just the start of the weekend? What if it's like
Yeah,
a chance to actually reflect on the week and kind of set some intentions?
totally. I mean, most of us, we just kind of treat Friday like, okay, weekend's here, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
But what if we actually, like, take a minute to just pause and reflect on the week that just happened?
Right. It's like this whole like mental reset opportunity that we're just like missing out on.
Yeah, exactly.
So Lestallion breaks these journal prompts down into all these different categories, which I thought was cool. And the first one is reflecting on the week, which honestly, some of these prompts are like really making me think.
Really? Like what?
Well, one of them is, what is one moment this week that brought you joy and why does it stand out?
Okay.
I don't know about you, but I feel like usually I just remember all the things that went wrong, not what went right.
I mean, it's funny because our brains are actually wired to focus on the negative stuff. It's like a survival mechanism.
Really?
Yeah. But the cool thing is when we actually try to like consciously pay attention to the good stuff, even if it seems small,
Yeah.
it can actually like change our thinking over time.
So it's not just about like feeling good in the moment. It's like we're actually training our brains to be more positive.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's actually studies that show that doing this, like focusing on the positive, can actually make you happier and more resilient.
Wow. Okay, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
But, let's be real. Sometimes the week is just a struggle.
Tell me about it.
And Lestallion, they get that. They don't shy away from it. There's another prompt here. Reflect on a challenge you overcame this week. What did it teach you about yourself? I kind of want to just skip over that one, to be honest.
I get it. I get it. Who wants to like relive the hard stuff?
Right.
But, that's actually where a lot of growth comes from.
Really?
Yeah, because when you think about those challenges, you're not just like dwelling on the negative. You're actually figuring out like how you handled it.
Okay.
What are your strengths? What did you learn? It's like building this self-awareness and resilience for the future.
So it's like taking stock of our like mental toolkit.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this is like more than just journaling. It's like
Yeah.
strategic self-analysis disguised as journaling.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And that actually kind of leads us into the next category, which you might be surprised by.
Okay.
Celebrating gratitude.
Gratitude.
Yeah, I know it's not exactly like a revolutionary concept,
Right.
but it's amazing how often we forget to actually like acknowledge the good stuff in our lives.
Yeah.
So Lestallion asks, write about 3 things you're grateful for this Friday. How do they bring joy to your life? I'm guessing most people wouldn't be like, my morning coffee in their gratitude journal.
Probably not.
But maybe we should be.
Okay, I'll admit, when I first saw the gratitude prompts, I was like, oof, cheesy.
Yeah, I feel that.
But honestly, after this week, I think I might actually be grateful for that second cup of coffee I spilled all over my desk.
Right.
It could have been worse,
Totally. It's not about pretending the tough stuff isn't there. It's just about finding like little bits of good even when things are chaotic.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of research that shows that even like short bursts of gratitude can actually make you feel better, both mentally and physically.
Okay, so we've looked back at the week, the good, the bad.
Mm-hmm.
We've sprinkled in some gratitude.
Yeah.
But now it's Friday.
It is.
Let's talk about the weekend. These prompts, they're not just about planning fun stuff. They're about, like, actually being intentional with their time off.
Yes.
And there was one that really stood out to me. It said, what are 3 things you want to prioritize this weekend to feel refreshed and recharged?
Okay.
Because, let's be honest, sometimes the weekend just disappears in a blur of, like, errands and chores,
And then we wonder why we're not actually feeling refreshed come Monday morning.
Exactly.
Right. So it's really about being mindful about, like, where our energy goes, what actually makes us feel recharged, what drains us.
Yeah.
We should be making choices that actually help us rest and recharge.
That's not just about, like, saying yes to everything. It's about saying yes to the things that actually fill us back up.
Exactly.
That's a big shift for me. I'm usually all about, like, cramming in as much as possible.
I get it. But there's a prompt for that too.
Oh, there is?
Yeah. Reflect on how you can create meaningful moments with loved ones this weekend. Sometimes the things that make us feel the most recharged are actually like the simplest things.
Yeah.
Spending time with people we care about. But again, it's about being intentional.
Yeah.
Like actually making space for those connections instead of letting them get squeezed out by all the busy stuff.
Okay, this is seriously making me rethink my whole approach to weekends.
I love it.
But let's be real for a sec. There's always that one thing
Oh,
that we should be doing but keep putting off.
always.
And LaStallion knows it, because the next category is all about personal growth,
Okay.
which can feel kind of daunting on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah, maybe a little.
But there's one prompt that I actually liked. It said, reflect on one area where you made progress this week. How can you build on it next week?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just like a sneaky way to get us thinking about work again?
Well, not necessarily. It's more about noticing those little wins, those small steps forward that we often just, don't even realize we're making. It's about celebrating those no matter how small, because that's what keeps us motivated, you know?
So it's like acknowledging those little victories along the way to the big goals.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The next prompt asks, write about a habit you want to strengthen. What small steps can you take to stay consistent?
Okay, that one's hitting a little too close to home.
Yeah.
I've got a whole list of habits I want to strengthen, but consistency?
Yeah.
That's like my Achilles heel.
Right. But that's actually where the power of writing it down comes in. It's not just about thinking about it. It's about making a plan.
Yeah.
When you actually write down those small steps, it's like you're making a commitment to yourself, which can be really powerful.
I'm starting to think LaStallion is really onto something with these prompts. It's like a blueprint for a more intentional, more fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And it all starts with Friday.
I love it.
I think you're right. But honestly, we've only just scratched the surface.
Real.
There's one more category of prompts that I think is going to blow your mind.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What is it?
Dreaming big.
Dreaming big. So it's Friday afternoon. The week is winding down. LaStallion wants us to think about the future.
Bold move.
It is. So one of the prompts is, write about a dream or goal you've been thinking about lately. What's one step you can take to move closer to it? I'm curious, is there a dream you've been putting off?
Oh, do I ever? But I always feel so UGE, where do I even start? But this prompt, it's smart. It breaks it down to just that one step.
Yeah.
And suddenly it doesn't seem so overwhelming.
Right. It's about closing that gap between dreaming and actually doing. We all have those big aspirations, but they can feel so far away, so unattainable. But if you can just pick one concrete step,
Yeah.
even a tiny one, it makes the whole thing feel more real. You can actually achieve it.
So it's not about having the whole plan figured out. It's just about taking that first step.
Exactly. Trusting that the path will reveal itself as you go.
Yeah, I like that.
And there's another prompt that kind of builds on that idea. Reflect on how your daily actions support your bigger goals. What adjustments can you make to stay on track?
Okay.
And this one is all about alignment. Are the things you're doing every day actually moving you towards those goals? Or are you accidentally sabotaging yourself?
Okay, sabotage is a strong word. But I get it. It's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day and totally lose sight of the bigger picture.
Yeah, totally. These prompts, they're kind of like a gentle reminder to realign yourself with what you really want.
I like that. A gentle nudge.
Yeah. And speaking of big dreams and all that, it makes me think about self-care.
Oh, okay.
There's a prompt in here that says, reflect on a way you can unplug from work or stress. What will help you stay present?
Yeah.
Because it's easy to forget that taking time to recharge is actually productive, especially if you have big goals.
This is a huge EE for me, honestly. I'm always on, always connected. The idea of unplugging almost feels rebellious, but maybe that's exactly what I need to do if I actually want to reach those big dreams. Burnout's not going to get me there.
You got it. Rest and rejuvenation, those aren't luxuries. Those are essential ingredients for success. It's about taking care of yourself so you can show up as your best self in every part of your life.
Okay, I am definitely adding unplug guilt-free to my weekend to-do list. But, as we're talking about all this, I'm realizing these LaStallion prompts, they're about way more than just journaling.
What do you mean?
It's they're about creating a whole different way of living, more mindful, more intentional.
Absolutely. It's about slowing down, taking time to reflect, appreciate the good stuff, and course correct when you need to.
Yeah,
Making choices that actually align with what you value and embracing, all of it. The challenges, the joys, the whole messy thing.
I love that. So are we saying that we should all be using these prompts, even if we, like, already journal regularly?
Oh, for sure. Even seasoned journalers can benefit from fresh prompts. It's like shaking things up a bit, exploring new parts of yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
And, sometimes it's the simplest questions that lead to the biggest breakthroughs.
That's true. I think
Yeah.
sometimes we get so used to our own thinking that we need a little help to see things from a different perspective.
Exactly. And those Listallian prompts, even though they seem simple, they can do just that. But, we've been talking a lot about the emotional and mental benefits of journaling, right?
Mm-hmm.
But did you know there's a bunch of research now showing that it's good for your physical health too?
Wait, really? Journaling can improve your physical health?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Studies have shown that expressive writing, which includes journaling,
Okay.
can actually strengthen your immune system, lower your blood pressure, even help you sleep better.
Wow.
The thinking is that when you process your emotions and experiences through writing, you're reducing stress, which then has all these positive effects on your body.
So it's not just about feeling good mentally and emotionally, it's about actually being healthier.
Yeah, it's like a total mind-body approach to well-being. And these Friday prompts, with their focus on gratitude and intention and all that,
Yeah.
those can be a really powerful tool for that whole journey.
Seriously. I'm
Yeah.
starting to think we should be prescribing Friday journaling to everyone.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
But before we get too carried away, I think it's probably time to start wrapping things up. What are your final thoughts on all this?
I'll be honest, I was totally skeptical at first,
Mm.
but I'm kind of blown away by how much we unpacked from these simple questions.
Yeah.
It's really made me think differently about Fridays,
Yeah.
about weekends, about life in general, honestly.
Love that.
And now I'm thinking, for someone who's totally new to this whole journaling thing,
Yeah.
where do they even begin? Where do they even begin?
Well, actually, Listallion has some good advice in their blog post.
Okay.
The first thing they say is, find a comfy spot to write. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a place where you feel relaxed and you can focus.
So, ditch the noisy coffee shop, opt for the cozy corner at home.
Exactly. Create a little sanctuary for reflection.
Right.
They also say, don't be afraid to personalize it.
Okay.
It's not about following some strict rules. It's about what works for you.
So, if you're a bullet point kind of person, you don't have to write pages and pages.
Not at all. They even say try different styles.
Yeah.
Bullet points, mind maps, even doodles. Anything that helps you get those thoughts and feelings out.
Oh, I like that.
The key is to make it enjoyable.
Yeah, not a chore.
Right.
And I also like that they recommend writing out the prompt in your journal,
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
before you even start writing your response.
Yeah, it's like setting the stage. Right.
Yeah, exactly, for more focused reflection. But, we've been talking a lot about, solo journaling,
Mm-hmm.
but I know there's, a whole world of shared journaling experiences out there.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So, besides, couples or friends journaling together, what are some other ways people do this?
Well, there's actually online communities.
Oh, wow.
Specifically for journaling, people share their reflections, they support each other.
That's cool.
There's even workshops.
Really?
Yeah, and retreats.
Wow, so it's this whole subculture
It is.
of reflection and self-discovery. I never realized how much was out there.
It's pretty amazing.
This is really making me see journaling in a whole new light. It's not just this solitary thing.
Yeah.
It's a way to connect with others, build community, find support.
Exactly. And, thinking about all these different ways to journal,
Yeah.
it makes me think, what if we took those prompts and used them for creative expression?
Oh, I like where you're going with this. What do you mean?
So imagine taking a prompt and turning it into a piece of art
Okay.
or a poem, a song, even a dance routine.
Wow.
It's like taking those reflections and bringing them to life in a whole new way.
It's like infusing those reflections with your own creative energy.
Exactly. It's like tapping into those different parts of yourself, letting those insights flow through you in a creative way.
I love that. And it seems like a really fun way to connect with those prompts on a deeper level. It's not just thinking about it, it's feeling it, experiencing it, expressing it.
Beautifully said. And those creative things you make, those can be reminders of your reflections.
Yeah, long after you finish writing.
Exactly. It's like creating a physical representation of your insights, something you can look at or listen to keep those reflections alive.
I love that. So as we wrap up our deep dive into these Listallian prompts,
Yeah.
I think it's important to remember that Journaling, it's really personal.
Absolutely.
There's no right or wrong way to do it.
It's about finding what works for you, what helps you connect with yourself
Yeah.
and make changes in your life.
Exactly. So as we leave our listeners to go on their own Friday reflection journeys,
Right.
we want to leave you with this final thought. What one prompt will you choose to explore this week?
And how will you bring it to life? On and off the page.
We'd love to hear about your reflections, your creative expressions. Share them with us.
We can't wait to see what you come up with.
Until next time, keep diving deep.